Hello everyone and welcome to part one of my other favorite video game series, Final Fantasy. Uh, you might be asking yourself, why would I start with 8 and not the first one? Well, I don't actually own a copy of any of the other ones that are before this. And I've never actually played 7 before. I do know the story of 7 though. At least like the really high hitting parts, like Aerith and Sephiroth and all that stuff. But yeah, I have never actually played 7, so I may do that later. Play a little bit out of order, but that's okay. But yeah, I've always loved 8. 8 is my first Final Fantasy ever. And I've always loved Squall. I've always related to him. I've always thought that I looked like him. Yeah, I've always just loved Squall. Always have, always will. Um, it would be cool to eventually try to potentially cosplay him one day, but I don't know when that'll be. I'll have to be less pudgy. I actually have muscles, so I don't have any muscles. But yeah, with all that out of the way, well, I do have one other thing. You might have noticed that the scheduling was off with videos from when I finished Chimera 2 to now. Um, Long story short, I am going through quite a bit at the moment, and I do think I am getting better slowly but surely. But I just need a little bit of time. So you're probably going to see this on Wednesday, and the video that was supposed to have gone up for Monday to start it will go up on Friday instead. So hopefully I can keep track of it now. But if I for some reason don't, then you can go on my Twitter, which is Kyrion_, and I will post updates there if there are any. Okay, let's go ahead and start. I love this intro. It's so good. So good. It's like calming and daunting at the same time. Okay, I will say I am going to try to voice act the stuff, at least the best I can. Girl voices are going to be a bit difficult because I just can't hear them. And I would be doing this, but those are lines for later. Like, you're just seeing them now. Very, very cool intro for a very, very cool game. How are you feeling? My forehead hurts. No kidding. Looks like your eyes are focusing. You should be fine. Say your name for me. Okay, so the default name is Squall, and that is what we're going to be using. I know that in other things he's appeared in, he usually comes as Leon, but I usually just go Squall, so I'm going to go Squall. Why don't you take it easy in training? Next time you might not be so lucky. Tell that to Cypher. That Cypher won't listen to anyone. Why don't you ignore him? I can't just run away. You want to be cool, huh? Well, don't get hurt in the process. Let's see. Your instructor is Quistis. I'll call her now. Just wait here a minute. Quistis, come get your student. Yes, yes. His injury's not serious. It'll probably leave a scar. Right. Now please come by. Squall, so we meet again. I knew it'd be either you or Cypher. Come on, let's go. Today's a field exam. Squall, is there something on your mind? Not really. What's so funny? Funny? No, it's not that. I'm just happy. I feel like I'm beginning to understand my student a little, that's all. I'm more complex than you think. Then tell me. Tell me more about yourself. It's none of your business. I've always loved Balamb Garden. Very cool. Very pretty, very large. Good morning, class. Let's start with today's schedule. There seem to have been some rumors flying around since yesterday. Yes, the field exam for seed candidates will begin later this afternoon. Those not participating and those who have failed last week's written test are to remain here in Study Hall. Field exam participants will have free time until the exam. Just be sure you're in top condition. Meet in the hall at 1600 hours. I'll announce the team assignment there. Any questions? Oh, and Cypher. Do not injure your partner while training. Be careful from now on. Field exam participants, I will see you all later. And Squall, I need to talk to you. Okay, so been a while since I've played it. Just the volume's a little bit loud on my end. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't know how that's going to be in terms of hearing me over the game, because the music's incredible, but I don't want it to like drown me out. So the first episode might be a bit scuffed, to say the least, because I have to get used to the volume levels. Okay. Well, in terms of the settings, I'm not using a controller, I'm using a mouse and keyboard, which is going to be a bit iffy because I don't have the buttons. Cursor, if you want to put it on memory, that will just make it so that when you're in battle, the cursor will stay on what you did last and not attack first. So, I'm kind of used to playing it with initials, I'm just going to keep it initial, but if you like it being that you can like do what you did again quicker, then do memory. But I'm not going to do that. Active ATB and wait ATB is more if you want to have the ability to wait while you're trying to pick something, or if you want to go on without you. Active is more challenging, but since I'm doing it for the story and not for the challenge, I'm going to do wait. Scan. Okay, there's a magic called scan, and when you use it on an enemy, it will zoom in on them and give you all the stats they have and what they're weak against and what they're resistant to, what won't damage them, all that stuff, what they'll technically eat, which we'll get to later. So if you don't want to have, if you want to have it on all the time, like it always fully zooms in on scan, then put on always. But if you play it the default way, this is what it's set to. Once is pretty much okay. But I will say full zoomed in gives you more info, I believe. Don't quite remember. Either way, I'm going to keep it the same. And I am going to turn the battle message up a little bit. Sound down a little bit. See if that helps just a little bit. Okay, and I will say my voice acting might not be all that great. This is my first time ever doing it, so I will have to get a bit more used to it. Okay, so we're not going to talk to Quistis quite yet. We are going to go and sit at our desk. Now we have our very first couple of Guardian forces. In other games, they're usually referred to as Aeons, but in this game, it's Guardian forces, or GFs for short. So this one is Quetzalcoatl, which is a Thunderbird, and Shiva. And I'm going to keep the names they all have by default. You can change them to whatever knowledge you want, but I'm going to keep them as is. Okay, so battle operation just goes over the battles, which I'll do on my own. Online help, I'm not sure. Okay, that's about junctioning and GF and all that stuff, but I'll go over that too. Card game rules, I'll explain myself. They can get very complicated. They're not really all that bad. There are certain rules that come up that are an absolute nightmare. You don't want to have them, but we'll get to that later. These you can't do because you're not a seed yet. This goes over all the icons and what they mean. So all the elements, which are are fire, ice, thunder, earth, poison, wind, water, and holy. All the statuses, which are death, poison, petrify, darkness, silence, berserk, zombie, sleep, slow, stop, curse, confuse, and drain. HP is obviously hit points. SDR is strength. VIT is vitality. MAG is magic. SPR is spirit, which is like the magic version of vitality. It's for magic defense. SPD is speed. EVA is evade. Hit is hit percent. Luck is luck. And then you have status attacks, status defenses, elemental attacks, elemental defenses. And then you have all of these. And those we'll get into once we actually do our GFs. This is all about, like, very specific. So if you really want to truly look up stuff, like you've never played an RPG before, and you want to know the very basics, that's where you go. Phew, I'm done. Okay. So now we're going to talk to Miss Quistis. You haven't been to the fire cavern yet, have you? You're not able to take part in today's seed exam if you don't pass the prerequisite. I was going to go this morning, but Cypher. Do you have a good excuse? Not really. Then let's get going. If you're not too confident yet, you can review your studies at the study panel. I'll be waiting at the front gate, so come down when you're ready. You can ask us the study panel from your seat. So that's where we got our GFs from. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go. And I'm gonna go ahead and give him one of his GFs. It doesn't necessarily matter which one you give him. I usually give him Quetzalcoatl. I think I normally do because Shiva can give you strength, I think. I don't quite remember. Let me look. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that in just a minute. Oh, yeah, she can give you strength. And because of what the other GFs that we'll get later can give you, I normally give him Quetzalcoatl so he can do magic stuff, and then I give him the one we get next, which can also give you strength, so that I can kind of split up the stats, because this game is all about the junction of function, if you want to call it that, and in order to have the stat go up the most, you have to have magic that would really fit in that slot. You can use anything, but certain magics make it go up further. For instance, there is a spell that we'll get later called Protect. If you put that in Vitality, you'll get a bigger boost than you would if you put it in any other place, because that's where it's supposed to go. As an example. So I am going to go ahead and have this assigned to Strength, and I'm going to have this assigned to HP, because we need that first. Then we'll work on the refinements. I'm not quite used to the buttons yet, so I might be messing up a little bit. I'll turn it down a little bit more. It just seems like pretty much. Still. Okay, so I'm going to give him this one. We have no magic yet. Okay. So there is command abilities. The defaults are attack, which you always have. You will never not have attack. Magic, GF, draw, and item. The defaults I normally go for is magic, GF, and draw, at least for now. There are ones we get later that are very useful, but it'll be quite a while before we get one like that. The only one I can think of is Card from Quetzalcoatl. And that will turn an enemy into a card for the card game. if it's low enough HP. So I'm gonna go with my default for now. And we don't have any sub abilities yet. We will get those though. I'm late. Are you okay? There. I'm fine. Sorry, I was kind of in a hurry. Oh yeah, hey, did you come from that class? Is homeroom over? No, this place is so much bigger than my last garden. Oh, hey. I just transferred here. Do you think you can give me a quick tour of this garden? Okay, I'm not going to tear her down. Sure. Woohoo, alright, let's go. We'll take the elevator to the first floor lobby and I'll show you the directory. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to talk to this guy. Oh hey, would you like to have these? My brother gave me these cards, but they're really not my thing. You can have them if you'd like. What? How do you play a card game? I think it'd be best to look at the card game explanation in the tutorial. I don't know much about it, really. If you want to play cards with someone, talk to them by pressing S. But keep in mind, not everyone is a card player. Oh, and by the way, I don't play, so don't bother touching me. Okay, so he gives you your very default cards, and you need these if you're going to do the card game. Those that have played this plenty of times and know this game system in and out know how broken the card game is. I'm telling you, you can absolutely tear this game to pieces with the junctions if you do the card game. And if you want all of the achievements, you do have to do the card game. And as I mentioned before, those that have played the card game know how long and irritating the side quest is to get all the cards. But yeah, not going to do it quite yet. I do want to get a couple of other cards first. One in particular, because you need it to have advantage. Okay. That's the directory. That thing is right in the middle. Well, this is it. Balamb Garden is pretty big. It's a good idea to check where you want to go and select it here. I have a question. How do you use this? Move the cursor and press X to select. Next, I'll give you a quick explanation of the various facilities. Yes, sir. You'll find the dormitory to the north. The majority of the students live there in the dorms. There aren't too many students who commute. Yeah, I'm in the dorms too. You can rest and change in there. West of the north block is the cafeteria. There's always a big rush for the hot dogs. You better get used to waiting in line. Got it. East of the north block is the parking lot. We usually take the garden car when a mission comes up. The front gate is located to the south. That's right. I have to go meet Instructor Trape at the front gate. What's the matter? Nothing. Next, we have the quad, located in the west block. There's an event being planned there. I know. It's the garden festival. It's going to be great. I'm planning to be on the committee. You want to help out too? Let's just continue. South of the west block is the infirmary. This is where you get treated for your injuries, but a lot of students just come here for advice. What's the doctor's name? Dr. Katawaki. Now is the east block. This is the training center. It's the only facility open at night. It's used for trainings, and they have real monsters running loose here. If you don't take it seriously, you may end up dead. Just be careful. Okay. South of the east block is the library. There's a lot of material you can look up here, but the terminals in the classroom are a lot more efficient. And you already know about the classroom listing before, right? Yep, I remember that one. By the way, the headmaster's office is located on the 3rd floor. You need permission to get to it. Another question, what's the headmaster's name? Headmaster Sid. That's about it, anything else? Got it. Hey, are you taking today's seat exam? Yeah. Then maybe I'll see you again later. I'm already finished my training for the previous garden. I'm taking the seat exam today too. Good luck to both of us, huh? Thanks a lot. Okay, so she will come back later. And I may have to cut this part out because it might be a bit of spoilers. I want to do it here just in case. Okay, so I'm going to save it here in slot 2. It doesn't matter because I'm not playing on PS1, so I don't actually have slots, but I'm trying to keep it separate from my other one, because I did one, I do have all the cards in that one. It was a nightmare though. Okay, so we do need to go to the front gate, but I am going to go here first. I'm going to go to the library. And now that you have your cards, you can start playing people with cards. But I'm going to wait and do that until I get one card in particular. People who have played this before know which card I'm talking about. This card in particular gives you quite a bit of an advantage over everybody else who doesn't have like incredibly good cards yet. So I'm going to wait till then to do the cards. And I will show you that card game then. But for now, I'm going to go to the library. Right over here. And trying to remember. There's a book here. Okay. Occult Fan 1. And you want to make sure you get that. I don't remember if it's missable or not. I don't think it is because you can come back to the garden quite often, except for like very one point in the game in particular. So I don't think it's necessarily mythical, but I would still get it while you can. Okay, I'm not going to voice act everybody because I'd just kill my voice. I'm just going to do it for the main people. That draw point does have SNS, which you do need. It's helpful to get some while you can. I don't think there's anything on the right side. Okay, I don't think there's anything here either. He's the only one taking a makeup test. I don't think she gives you anything either. Okay, that's fairly standard rules. I can see those too. Okay, so now we're going to go to the main gate. Or the front gate, I should say. The rest we'll go to later. We can't actually do anything in them yet. Okay. I'll go ahead and save one more time. It's not what I meant to do. I'm going to cut that part out. I'm so used to doing slot 1. Balamb Garden is gigantic. Okay, and over here, from this draw point, will give us Cure. And we get 2. They don't really give too many at a time, and I don't remember if it matters about your magic stat or not. I know when you're drawing magic it does. I don't think it matters about draw point. I could be wrong. I think it gives you like a random amount of a certain interval. Like I think that one always like roughly gives you about 6. The SM one I think is about the same. I could be wrong. I have a few things to explain before we head off. GF gives us strength. The stronger the GF, the stronger we become. So here's a brief explanation on junctioning and GF. Okay, so this is pretty much going to go over what I've already done. Pretty much the gist is that the Guardian Forces are beings that you team up with. They are junctioned onto you, and because of that, you are bestowed the ability to have different abilities. Because by default, all you ever have is attack, and you can't junction anything without having a GF. And you can't junction anything without magic, so they all intermingle together. Yeah, if you press S, it will give you the list of everything they learned. And the way that they learn is by doing battles, which will give you AP, and then the AP will give you, once you reach a certain amount, it will let you learn the ability. So yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I was trying to say. There will be a point later where it won't matter necessarily about who you have junction to who, because you can unlearn things to relearn things, so it's not as annoying as you would think it would be, but in the beginning you have to worry about who's going to get what, because certain people learn certain things, and if you can't give them the junction for it, or if you give someone one that will give you the same thing twice, it's kind of redundant. So you kind of have to watch out for that. I will say, item is a bit iffy for me. It's definitely usable. By far. But I don't know. I never really use it all that much. Even when it comes to status, I don't really just use it much. Okay, this we don't have, but we will get eventually. These are the passive abilities instead of active. And these will give us stat boosts and random effects, like being able to see hidden things and cutting the encounter rate in half or cutting it off completely, like really cool stuff like that, but you have to learn those to get them. Everything okay up to now? You can always check back by accessing the tutorial from the menu. Once we get to the fire cavern, I'll explain how to junction magic. Use the command draw during battle and stock magic from your enemies. Be sure to have some stocked. And she is right, you do want to have some. Because you can't junction without magic. Ready to go? The fire cavern used for the test is located east of here. Okay, so this is the overworld. And as is tradition in RPGs, you're going to have random encounters. Where you are can dictate what kind of enemies you will encounter. For instance, in the field here, there is going to be some... I'm trying to remember the button for the camera again. It's not that button. That for later. Okay, so if he were to step on the grass, per se, you'll get enemies that will be encountered in the grass. There are certain enemies that you can't encounter unless you're in that forest-looking area. Some of them are really dangerous, and I wouldn't recommend fighting them just yet. But the main goal, and I'm probably going to end the video here soon because it's gone on quite long. I knew the first part was not going to be all that long because of the intros and the setup and all that stuff. But before I end it, I am going to at least show you this one battle because you want to make sure... Before I forget, I need to give Quistis Shiva. Same deal, same ones. And she needs to have draw as well as squall. Because what we need before we go in there is if you run along the wall of this mountain, there will be an enemy here called a glacial eye. And these are where you get the spell you need to junction. One of many, but we need this one in particular for a reason. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. Pretty good magic. Scan is used throughout the whole game. You're always going to use scan. Cure is great for now because you have no way to store anything besides items and that. So yeah, what you want to do is you're going to sit here. You don't have to get 100. That's the cap for all magic, is 100. You want to have at least some. Like, you want to sit here that this is count, then I would recommend getting at least about 50. At least 50. Just so you're set for a while. In the next part, I will have probably 100 of everything, because I just want to get everything settled here before I have to do anything else. Okay, so in part 2, I will see you at the very beginning of a fire cavern after I've drawn probably about 100 of everything. If you like what you've seen here, consider subscribing. I would love to grow my platform as big as I possibly can. Yeah, I will see you in part 2.